Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, welcome into another episode of Salem right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We are talking recap of Salem's episode Met by Moonlight. Tonight, I'm your host, Bobby DeMuro. With me, as always, is Marisa Serafini. And we have a special guest next to Marisa. The one and only Sammi Hanratty joins us again.
Hi.
Hello.
I love this theme song. I must say it's like my favorite.
Sammi, of course, plays Dolly. We have a lot to ask her. A lot of disapproving things we're going to have to talk about tonight.
Okay.
Juicy for sure.
Before we get there, you guys can actually be involved. We've been taking your questions from YouTube the last couple weeks since you've been sending them. We're live streaming this tonight, so if you have questions, comment in YouTube. Our producer Steven's going to be checking those out. Marissa's also got the computer here. She can check those out. So if you have questions for Sammi, you want to talk about prom, which we're going to get into. She went to prom last night.
I did.
And fun. We're also going to talk, about Dolly in the show, I guess, a little bit. You can do that. You can also follow us on Twitter. I'm at Bobby DeMuro. Marissa's at Serafini TV. And Sammi is at Sammi Hanratty, the number one.
Number one.
Because there is only one.
Oh, okay. There's going to be another Sammi Hanratty out there that's going to be like, no.
I'm better than that, girl.
Yeah.
We're just buttering you up for the softball questions, so at the end we can get to the hard-hitting stuff.
Okay.
Let's start with Dolly.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
What a girl.
I feel bad for what happened to Dolly.
Yes.
But what the hell's going on with Isaac?
Ooh.
Because he's like 40.
Oh, you know what? Are you saying that you don't approve of
no.
Dolly and
we question
Isaac?
it.
No.
It's not that we don't approve of it. We question it.
Okay, can we just talk about
character?
Can we talk about who marries in the show?
For sure.
I mean, she's with George Sibley.
Absolutely.
Look at that age difference.
But how old of a character are you portraying?
I believe in season 1 I was 15, so I'm probably 16 in this season, which
in
back
that time
then was probably like time to have some children now, kind of thing.
I'm with you,
acceptable.
I just because Dolly the entire time has been wicked in an innocent way, like wicked to Mercy before that whole thing happened.
Yeah, but you have to also think she's like kind of stepping into adulthood really fast at the fact that like my mom passed away in the season before, all my friends have passed away. She's like now completely alone. So I think that she's kind of had to take on the responsibility of being older. And so she needs a mature guy, you know what I mean? And like if she's gonna pick anybody, it might as well be Isaac the fornicator.
No, listen, if you're gonna go,
best guy there.
If you're gonna go with a guy with
ironically so.
Yeah.
Exactly, a 20-year age difference or whatever they're going to say. Isaac's a good guy. Cotton has his moments, but he's betrothed to Anne. We'll talk about that later.
I know.
But for sure, I'm with you on Isaac. My other question with Dolly is this it? Can you talk about that? Is this it for her? Is she done now? We've seen blood draining out of her.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Dolly Trask is dead.
Oh.
Yes.
That was a serious exsanguination process, and this is so cruel. It's like, how did Dolly live so long? And
But something you got to remember about Salem is like, I mean, is anybody ever really dead? You know what I mean? Is anybody ever really fully
They
dead?
could call you in season 5. Like, we have a new arc. You're a ghost.
Yeah.
Because we even saw Petra's come back a little bit tonight, and we're like, he's dead, right?
Yeah.
We'll
no,
get to that.
I think though, if I were to have a death, I think this was a great way to go. I definitely think, and I always told Elise from the very beginning, I'm like, man, I have a feeling I'm gonna die soon. I always say that, like every episode, I would be like, I have a feeling I'm gonna die soon. I think I'm probably gonna die soon. So I'm glad the way that I went, because it was like sad and also like giving my life for her. So I think it was like, in a way, I was like, there you go.
That was a weird relationship, because Elise, of course, plays Mercy.
Yes.
She did not like you for what you did, taking Isaac from her, the betrayal and all that. But she also didn't want the revenge in von Marburg's hands.
Yeah.
And so it was a weird balance for her and for you, for Dolly in there to kind of play both sides of the fence too, and like, don't hurt me, you know, hey Mercy, remember me when we were kids, which is total BS.
Yeah.
I know.
Way to live much longer.
What are you doing? But it's that weird balance from Mercy that, you know, we talk about her a lot, obviously, but I still don't think she quite has what it takes, and that scene exemplified it to me. Whatever having what it takes is in this weird world, that scene exemplified it, because she probably should have just gone along with von Marburg, and Dolly should have been dead to her. You betrayed me, that's it, I don't care. But she had an emotion about it. She still had an emotion about it, even as she was washing herself clean.
Well, because she's still just a little girl at the end of the day, you know? And I think that's one of the great things that Elise brings out in the character Mercy, is because she struggles with so much. She's this power-hungry kind of monster right now, but yet she's still just a girl, you know?
And also in a way, it's like Dolly was one, and if not only her ally up until that point. She was the only one who really stuck with Mercy for
her
so
last true
long.
Friend, yeah.
And for Mercy to do that to her own quote-unquote friend, I think that just as a human being, I think her conscience kicked in.
Yeah. And
be like, yeah, I'm doing this to my friend, my only ally, but
and then it's great when she's the one who reaches up and turns it on, and it's like, all right, Mercy's still in there, huh?
Yeah. But I did predicted last after show that was Dolly strapped up, because we saw in the preview like someone strapped up. I was like, it must be Dolly.
That pale skin looks like Sammi Hanratty. That's what you're thinking.
It's almost exactly what she said. It's now the one thing that I found interesting about Dolly in this season, because the first season it was weird. We'd see you for a few episodes, we wouldn't, then we'd see you, then we wouldn't, and then you had the group with you. You had all the friends, you know, the other girls with you. This sort of Mean Girls pack, you know, the little Lindsay Lohan movie thing going on. But in this one, Dolly kind of consecutively every episode becomes a little more empathetic, and I think what you say about growing up, a girl growing up, is exactly it. And you see in front of you every episode, Isaac gets worse, Isaac has these boils, and not only does he get worse, he gets mistreated by everybody, whether it's Wainwright, and I don't know if Wainwright was mistreating him or just neglecting him, whatever, and then obviously Mercy.
Being exploited by Wainwright's science. He was just studying him, not really caring for him as a person, just caring for him as a patient, and trying to figure out a cure for this pox that's going on. Yeah,
and then Dolly is the only one who has to see him as a human. Yeah. Now, you're also like, in the same way as Anne Hale, there's a weird parallel there, because you don't have like parental supervision anymore. You're not, you know, going to school. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to school in this community right now, but like there's that whole weird thing where kids are losing their parents, and I think that affects the community, and maybe we'll see it more, but it affects you and Anne in the sense that you're kind of on your own and you have to grow up quick. You know, whereas a year ago, if this had happened to Dolly's character, it would, I think, turned out very, very differently, or you wouldn't have even had the courage to take Isaac away from Mercy's place.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. And last season, it's so interesting, too, because I kind of had that power-hungry, like, ooh, she's got that, you know, Dolly was kind of like this power-hungry girl who was just infatuated by Mercy's power. And so, yeah, I love what they did with the character, though, for this season, which is kind of like each episode, like you said, just kind of becoming more and more as human as possible. And also falling in love, I think, had changed her a lot for the better. And falling in love with Isaac was even better, because he's probably, out of everybody in the show, like the purest heart, even though he's gone through like the worst of the worst, I think, out of everybody in that town. I think that he's got like the purest heart. So yeah. So
I mean, I agree. I think as questionable as this relationship blossomed for the audience, I still think it as a storyline that reveals and resembles hope, because this is such a downtrodden town, and everything that's going on is so dark, and really, and we mentioned it in past after shows, everyone who departures the shows, it's not on a happy note, and this story gave the story hope for something could be good.
Oh yeah, two things. First off, there was no way in hell Dolly and Isaac were going to go to the West Indies, get on a ship.
We wanted to go.
I'm not saying, but it gave the audience something to look forward to.
Yeah,
for sure. But
I thought they were going to make it out for sure. I was like, you go, guys. I'm just kidding. No.
Oh, I was going to say, no way.
The script, I knew.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, even in the middle of reading it, I was like, there's no way you could have, no way, not in this community.
And also the characters were, like, explaining all their steps of, like, oh, once the audience knows what they're doing, and you know it's going to be thwarted. Every plan that's already every step, it's going to be thwarted.
And we knew it was coming too because we predicted a couple times on the show that Isaac is going to make it all the way through. However long the show lasts, however many seasons, whatever's going on.
So you mean like the worst of the worst he's going to get except for death?
Totally.
Okay.
He will make it all the way through.
Go?
Because he's not innocent, obviously, but he's the most innocent in the weird supernatural realm of the totally uninnocent. And so when I see Isaac and Dolly walking down the pier, I'm like, one of them's coming back. And it ain't $8. Like, it's just not. It's just not.
Sorry.
Like,
it's okay.
There's a reason these two are together right now.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what happens to Isaac now next week. Do you read the scripts? I mean, not that you're going to tell us, obviously.
Right.
But do you know what goes on the rest of season 2, or do you only get what you have?
I only get what I have, but I do know quite a bit.
Really? Turn those cameras off.
So yeah,
We'll be back in
It's
5 minutes.
It's oh man, I wish I could share. I really do.
I can't.
But
I mean, we got to wait 7 days.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
wait to see how
But
Isaac
obviously,
reacts.
Yeah, obviously, it's not going to be very. He's not going to react in the best ways, finding out that his love has been killed.
There's a lot of love going on in this show where there wasn't much love or as much love last year. Mary was kind of using George and all these other things happening. Now there's this weird, pure witch love between Anne and Cotton, which we're totally down for anyways.
You guys like it?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So you liked them, but you didn't like Isaac and Dolly? What's up with that?
Cotton, Anne is like...
She tricked him. At least our love is pure.
Yeah, that's
she,
true.
Like, manipulated him. I mean, no, okay, I gotta admit, I think they're so cute together. They really are. But it's mainly just because I think that Seth and Tamsin are such great actors and that they, like, you know, it's super cute. But otherwise, like... No, she tricked him. That's not how love works.
But Isaac is, as great as a man he is the fornicator.
Yeah. For love, he fell in love with some. Oh my goodness gracious!
I'm just not to be
pure-hearted. He is
not to be a George Sibley, but I'm totally going to be a George Sibley.
You're gonna. So you would brand his head.
I wouldn't go that far, but I would say, Miss Trask, come into the principal's office.
Whoa.
Let's have a talk.
Okay.
Yeah, let's wait 2 more years. I know there's
to run off with some guy out of Salem.
Yeah, I will admit I don't think that's a fair comparison because with your character Dolly and Isaac, that it's just those two were already put in a bad situation, and they were forced to be together in a way where they grew that mutual respect and love and romance in that aspect. And then we have a whole different storyline that's going on where they're kind of forced to be together, but still in a way still genuinely connect. Yeah. So it's 2 different levels, I think.
My reaction when I found out that I was going to be in a relationship with Ito when I first found out, because I talked to Adam, the creator of the show, and he's like, you know, you're gonna get a love interest, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I wonder who they're gonna hire. Oh my gosh, like I wonder what's gonna happen, and like all this stuff. Like I don't know what I was thinking that was gonna go on, but I was like, I wonder what my dress is gonna look like when we get married, and like all this stuff was going on through my head. And then I read the script, and it's like, and then she kisses Isaac's forehead, and I'm like, oh, and then I got even more excited though, because it is quite endearing in my eyes.
I'm struggling with.
It's okay.
I don't know.
Understand.
And I think that part of the reason I'm struggling with it, and not that it made it bad or anything, but just jokingly struggling with it, is Dolly's constantly portrayed as the innocent to Mercy's evil. And Isaac is portrayed innocently too, but he's clearly so much older, and he has clearly so much more life experience. And I see Dolly almost like a little kid, and I don't mean that like in a disingenuous way, but the comparison to Mercy, who's like a little girl gone crazy, you should be more like Dolly, girl.
Right.
And then to see, I'm like, wait a second, no, Dolly, no. You're like, no.
To me, it's funny just because I'm like, oh, this is Ashley's husband that I'm going to be kissing, who plays the tuba.
And also, like, and this is actually my one criticism of the show, and we kind of butt up against it occasionally in episodes. I think the show needs Dolly and Isaac, or 2 people like that. 2 humans with no special powers. There's no witchy things going on. Like, you need a love like that, or a couple characters. Not even love, but a respectful relationship. You need something like that. And when you lose one, it becomes witches on witches on witches on witches, and it gets kind of muddled. And you've got you've got John, you got Shane West doing his thing.
We got Shane, who's like not a witch, but he's like a witch hunter now.
But he's something, yeah.
Yeah, and then now, I mean, now you still have Isaac, or do you?
Do not.
Isaac,
don't even joke about that.
That's not
We will
funny.
throw you out of this studio.
I get what you mean. You just have to see what happens.
Oh,
Did you like that? I did that wink.
For those of you watch or listening on iTunes, you just wink.
All right, so I want to ask you a couple questions from YouTube. One of them is totally wrong. Somebody asked, when do you become a full-fledged witch? Never. Can answer that one.
As of now,
Never.
I'm dead. So
Never say never.
Never say never
Come
on
back as a
Salem.
spirit.
Yeah.
That is a possibility.
This is actually a good one, and we I guess we see it a little bit, and we all kind of watch on the shows, but I don't know if you have any other insight into it, just being around there and knowing the creators and the writers. One question for you was the difference between Essex witches, natural witches, and elder witches. It's just clans, right? There's nothing that you have that we don't already know.
I never made it to full witchhood.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Like we said, I am not a witch. I don't know about the witches. I don't know, man.
See how I see it is as maybe just different generations. You know how there's Generation X and Y, and how we define different ages in today's society. It might just be that way, but maybe the way they define it is locations and regions.
It's like gangs or something.
In a way, maybe.
Whatever helps. I mean,
Tell
sure.
us if we're wrong. That's how I see it.
This is a good one from YouTube. I want to know this one. I'm glad this was asked. How did Mercy do the makeup? What does the makeup feel like? I mean, we can see it. It looks gross. It's obviously whatever. What does that feel like? Like when she touched your face and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I first found out about it, I was like, I'm a scaredy cat, first of all. So I was like, okay, I want to see a picture before I do a scene with Elise because I won't be able to look at her. Like, I just hearing about it freaked me out. So I looked at a picture first and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I kind of watched them put some of it on. And then like I got to see her in person, which I mean, it worked really well in the scene, but in real life I was like, oh my gosh. Like I kept looking at her and I was just like that's all I kept doing. I just kept touching my heart and being like, oh, like it's like it's basically like the whole body is kind of like a suit, but it's like the silicone. Like I think it's silicone. Whatever it was, though. I mean, props to her. It's either really hot in there or like really cold. So it just whatever the temperature is outside, it like exaggerates like a bunch.
Yeah.
So and she was in it all day, and I mean she has to have the contacts in, and like man, Elise, you did amazing because that was rough.
How long did it take to then prep her every day? Because it was a suit, did she just pretty much put it on?
No, because and then the neck up was all makeup. So I don't know how long it took on daily, because I mean they would always just pull me in at a different time, so I think about probably like an hour.
Oh,
That's actually not bad.
but every day,
Every
but
day.
still,
It's more of just having it on all day is more of I think the struggle. It's crazy on that show, like everyone with between corsets and like makeup and everything is like
you got off easy.
yeah. The corsets, so I'm not gonna lie, they're definitely not the most comfortable things, especially when you're getting like hits and like you kept on, like I fall down a lot, and so when they like have to like pull me up and stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna complain because Elise got it.
Another question, a related question off YouTube. Another good one on this is Mercy's voice. Is she doing that on set, or is it post-produced, that raspiness? Is that all her?
That's all her.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then we have to go in for ADR, which is such a bummer because, oh my gosh, it's so, she does it pretty much all day. She'll keep the voice to stay in character, so I've tried to do it myself, like the way she does it.
Let's all do it.
Well, I remember because she was telling me, I was asking her like what she was gonna do. I was like, we were talking about like the walk and everything. We were at the park, and I was just asking her how she's gonna do it, and she's telling me about like some of the research she's done, and then she started doing it, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's perfect. Yeah, that's really good. It's like this raspy. I wish I could do it, my dolly dear. Like, oh my gosh,
I think that's pretty good.
She's like, woo, like, oh my gosh. Every time I work with Elise and I like see her, she's probably like, she impresses me so much. I think it's so cool, especially having somebody around my age, like that I can just look at and be like in awe of. in this industry is just it's so cool.
It seems to me
talented.
what little I know about acting, very little. You have a much tougher job than her when you guys have to play off each other, because she can just kind of go full on crazy and like do whatever because she's insane, and you have to like be like, okay, I'm a human. How would I react to this insane person?
But it makes it really easy because she's going crazy, and I'm like, I am a human, so that helps.
You're already terrified. So yeah.
Automatically the same one in the room.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting contrast too, because I never want to like offend Mercy, you know. So even when she's eating practically my boyfriend in front of me, it's got to be kind of like, well, don't you think what you're doing is wrong, you know? And like, this is probably not the best idea. Like, hey, please stop.
That reminds me, we got a couple more YouTube questions, but I do not want to forget this. Kudos to knocking Reverend Lewis in the face with a mallet.
You
That
know,
was awesome.
I try. It was really fun.
I bet.
Oh my God. Okay, let's pull this. Get all objects away from her.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. I was just happy that that Dolly was able to do something heroic. So that was cool. Yeah.
Another one from you. This is interesting because you were obviously there filming most all of season 1 and then this part of season 2. Did anything change between the seasons? They ask, is there an attitude in season 1 like, hey, I hope this lasts? And when season 2 starts, everybody's kind of like, okay, we're here now. Let's make something cool. We're here to stay. Any attitude like that between the two, or is it just kind of like, you know what? Let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Yeah, it was pretty similar. Pretty similar feel. I feel like everyone's there to make a masterpiece, and that's what they do. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the same vibes on set.
You guys were on the same location in Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And then I want to know this. This is not from YouTube. Tell us about you being hung up.
Yes.
Oh,
How did they film that?
My
Are you
question.
on the ground? Did they film it with mirrors, or were you actually up there?
I was actually up there. And I was up there for like, I think they timed it. About like 45 minutes at a time.
Why did they? Was it like a union thing? They had to make sure you weren't.
Blood circulation.
Well, yeah.
For reals. Like it was not comfortable at all. It was really painful. And then me being dumb, I was really bored the day before, just kind of hanging out in my room. So I'm so weird. I started doing cartwheels and I was like, I'm gonna get some arm workouts in. So I did all this weird arm exercises, and I was doing handstands, and then
See where this is going.
and then the next day I'm like, I could barely move my arms, and they're like, okay, so we're gonna put you up here, and I'm just like, and so I'd have to crawl up there, and they put me up, and they had to, and so yeah, but everyone was great on set with like, okay, let's get her down, let's get her to craft services, she needs her snacks. I'm kidding, no. She wants candy, you know. But
That's the best time to have someone serve a drink to you with a straw. Here you go.
I like what they did though with that. They filmed, that was my last scene that they filmed too. So that was it was really emotional. I am one of those that like, man, I may cry after this saying goodbye to you guys. But like once I get connected with people on a set, it's just really hard to like say goodbye. So it was really sweet. They made a cake for me, and it said like bloody good job, Sammy, and I ended up stuffing my face in it, and then Lucy was like eating it too. I'm actually gonna put together a YouTube video from my final day, and I'm gonna post it on my channel. It was nice that they made that scene my last scene, because I got to be actually crying too.
Interesting. Have you worked with any of them before or since, like Shane or Janet Montgomery, or anybody at least? Are you going to work with them again, or just kind of whatever happens?
I would love to, definitely. I mean, I think everybody on the show is extremely talented and wonderful, so I would love to, but I didn't work with anybody before that, so that was cool to be able to.
How did you get cast in this again? Was there a special story, or, because I know we've talked about this last season, but just like, was it just going into auditions thing, or was there a special thing, you know, a guy and something happens?
Well, I auditioned for the pilot originally for Anne Hale.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Which is great because I fell in love with the script. I thought, like, what an interesting, cool, weird, scary show. So when I found out that there was another character I could audition for, I first read Dolly, and I was offended that I got called in because it said the thick girl. That was, like, her description. And I was like, so, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I, like, wore, like, you know, an extra push-up bra and went in to try and make myself, like, look like a bigger girl, I guess.
Well, Welcome to Hollywood.
And so they ended up hiring me, and I was the smallest one of all the girls, which I thought was kind of funny because she was like kind of the leader of the pack to begin with, but being like the smallest one, so that was funny.
Did you watch Mean Girls to prepare?
Yeah,
totally.
No,
Okay,
I did.
good.
Yeah.
I think that's
The most insulting question you've ever been asked in an interview.
So, out of all the storylines from season 1 and now 2, since the last time we spoke to you, what has been your favorite character or storyline to follow?
Oh man, I really do think that. My favorite characters have always been Cotton, Mercy, and Isaac. And so I think all three of them have kind of gone just completely like different from where we last left off in season 1. So I've really enjoyed like watching. I've really enjoyed being a part of the Mercy, Isaac, and Dolly thing, because those are two of my, favorite characters.
Right.
And then obviously I'm falling in love with Cotton and Anne.
Oh, who's not?
Yeah.
Even though I still think Dolly and Isaac are the cutest.
Well, you guys had the most staying power in the real world because Cotton's a human, but Anne is a witch, so something's going to come to
Or
head
is
there.
she?
What?
Okay, we've been questioning.
Totally.
Okay, what?
We've been.
What have you been
Maybe this
questioning?
might be me because I always see Anne. Yes, she has very strong supernatural powers, but she's so different than Mary or Countess because her eyes glow red, and it's I don't know. I see it as a different type of magic.
She was like born into it though, whereas
She
the other.
is.
I don't know about Lucy's character, but it wasn't her choice. So maybe that's where some of the differences of like, or at least her personality. Obviously, she's different because she, I think, has just like a pure heart with it. Like she's like a good person who's thrown into an evil world, unlike the others who chose to be in the evil world.
Do you think her powers are more natural because she does come from a strong bloodline of witches, whereas her magic is natural compared to everyone else who is more forced and they had to learn it? It's heightened in a way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think with you born, it's like in her blood,
Yeah.
Where, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm questioning things because I'm thinking because it's so different. Maybe she's a demon. Maybe she's not a witch. Maybe they'll bring the demonology type of storyline into the show.
Maybe.
Who knows? Keep it open ended.
I'm just gonna keep looking at the camera
Lots
and
of
doing like that.
questions.
Okay, Sammy, we have a very important question for you.
Yes.
Do you hate Hawthorne as much as we do?
How much do you hate him?
So much.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you see what he did with Anne and then with Cotton and then saying all those terrible things about Anne today? And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
That's low.
Whoa, man.
easy, man.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. no.
Exactly.
Whoa, man. Whoa.
Exactly.
I would have done the same thing as Cotton.
And how do you think you would have fared? Not good.
No. No, sir.
Well,
That's not a fair fight either.
well, yeah, but Cotton had a spell. It wouldn't have been a fair fight if Cotton didn't have the spell. If
Yeah.
Cotton didn't have the extra
drive for
motivation.
love, yeah,
exactly. Now, if Hawthorne had been saying those things about you and Isaac with his pox, that would have been a fight I would have loved to have seen.
Oh, that would have been the saddest fight.
No, I think Isaac would have. That would have been a
No,
natural
Isaac
thing.
would have just been like coughed on him and tried to give him some pogs.
I don't
Maybe
think
like picked at one of them, like ooze it out or something.
Ew.
Like, I'm sorry. You can watch the show,
I can
but I
like
can't talk about
visually envision that's bad. Pop the like is it?
That was so Mercy's makeup.
I've always wanted to do that, by the way. Like, because they're so boily on him. Who was it? I was watching. I think I was watching it with my best friend Mark, and he's like, I kiss Ito on the forehead, and he goes, ew, and I'm like, what? It's so sweet. Like immediately, I'm like, it's so sweet. And he's like, you kiss the pox, man. You kiss the pox. I'm like, yeah. It's mainly the F I kissed on the forehead, but
Either
It's
way,
endearing.
yeah, that makeup in a way was kind of creepier than Mercy's because Mercy, it's like she's burned. This is just all a situation.
And Countess is kissing her hand, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would not touch that.
That's a little bizarre. All right, Sammy. So let's go off the show for a minute.
oh,
I understand.
Yeah.
You went to prom last night.
did go to prom last night.
That's so cute. I went to prom like 40 years ago.
Well, I've been out of high school for like 2.5 years now. But my friend invited me, and I was like, okay.
Did you miss? I mean, that's interesting. Did you miss a lot of the experience doing this sort of stuff, or is it worth it because you get to do cool stuff like Salem?
I mean, I was homeschooled, but I feel like I was I don't know. I love people so much, so I don't feel like I missed out on like the social aspect because I'm so like crazy when it's like, hey, I don't know you, but what's up? How's your life? You know. And I also, with all the kids I grew up with, like kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, I grew up in Redlands, California. And so I ended up actually going to all the homecomings growing up, and like I went to a bunch of the football games, and they really included me, which was awesome. So I don't feel like I missed out too much, although I definitely think I would have been a cheerleader if I actually went to real high school. Yeah, I do. And I think probably would be more in shape if I would have instead of all that craft services.
I think Dolly would have been a cheerleader too. If Salem had a football team in the 17th century, Dolly probably would have been.
That bum roll that I wear. Oh yeah,
totally.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I went to prom, and actually, my prom date won prom king.
Aww.
Wow.
He did.
Look at that.
Good job, Hayden.
Shout out Hayden.
Hey, Hayden.
Did he know he was on a date with a dead girl?
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't. Would I give away something that happens on the show to someone? Never. Sworn to secrecy up in here.
Interesting. Okay. So what do you have coming up? You're doing a lot of stuff. You were on 2 Broke Girls this year.
Oh yeah, I was.
And then you're doing Bad Kids Go to Hell, which we were joking about off camera, is Breakfast Club. I prefer to call it Dawson's Creek. That one episode where they're all in the screw you guys, whatever, man. Dawson's Creek is cool.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up? Because you've had a lot of work in a long career for your age. What's coming up next?
Thank you. Yeah. So Bad Kids Go to Hell should be coming out this year.
That's the sequel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's such a funny, like, interesting comedy that's just super dark humored and was very different. I actually went really blonde for that, which I'm also dyeing my hair tomorrow. I'm going blonde tomorrow again. Off note. But yeah, and then I did a film called Seeds of Yesterday, which was a Lifetime film, and I fall in love with my brother in that. Which was
that's so Lifetime.
What's worse, Isaac or the brother?
Yeah. Oh, come on, guys. Really? I'm
just really still thrown by the Isaac thing. I don't know why.
For this situation, I'm gonna go with Isaac because it's not incestual.
Oh, okay. It's better. Okay.
It's better. Okay, yeah. I think just because we know you, if we didn't know you personally, and the character fell in love with Isaac, and we saw this today, we would have been like, okay, that's a little whatever. Go for it. That's cute.
Really?
But because we know you, because you were here last year, we're like, no, Sammy, what are you doing?
Really?
No, don't do. No.
I feel like my parents would approve of him. My parents would be like, yes,
but he's got a full-fledged
if you were
beard.
10 years older, maybe.
Yeah. Or if he were a couple years, he's got a beard, man.
Yeah. Although, wait, did you guys see the first episode?
Yeah.
Of the season? Can we just talk about that guy? Because that guy, I believe, was older, and I was making out with him, pushing him up against a tree. All my sisters come out and start grabbing on him. I think Dolly has definitely upped her game with Isaac. I forgot about that. Yep.
All right, so
I didn't even get
stand
a date
corrected
with that guy, and I started making out with him.
That's true.
Can I just talk about that?
So Dolly has a type.
Yeah, Dolly, bearded older gentleman. Not that Ido is older. You know what? You guys have to be careful. Ido's gonna be watching this and be like,
no, but
saying my age, yo.
But older than the 15, 16-year-old you're, and I know, the
I'll be 20 this year.
Time,
I think it's just like our culture right now, it's more questioned because it's such a big age gap, but back then it's more socially acceptable, so we had to get into that mentality and take us back.
And this is the beauty of YouTube, because we get tons of comments every week.
Yeah.
I could be dead wrong about this, and everybody who's watching this could be like, no, dude, it's cute, shut up.
Yeah.
Stop talking. They could be totally...
Hey, dude, it's cute. Shush up.
All right.
She told you.
I'm just kidding.
Well, we're going to ask the tough questions now.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, what else is coming up next for you this year? When will Bad Kids Go to Hell be out?
We don't have a date yet.
Okay.
So you're just going to have to wait and see. And then Seeds of Yesterday actually already came out. So that came out like almost a month ago, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I will definitely look that up because I personally love Lifetime movies.
Yay!
And Hallmark movies. I always say Hallmark Saturdays, Lifetime Sundays.
That's good.
That's
good.
how I see my schedule. So I will definitely look out for that.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was very fun though.
Yeah.
Most important question, because it's about us and we're selfish. When's the next TV series you're jumping on to? Because when can you come back here? Listen, get on a TV series again. Get on, something this year, next year. We'll do it. Just keep coming back.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You accept me for me.
You don't need a television show. Just come back.
No, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'd love to do a show. I've never actually been a series regular on a show, so that would be something that'd be really fun.
What do you
You're
think?
close to regular this season. It was like
Yeah.
pretty much a regular.
Until you died, unfortunately.
Well,
What do you think? It happens.
well, I mean, is that really the end, though?
She's got a lot of good practice. Oh, this isn't
Guys,
maybe.
I think maybe you should just keep watching the rest of the season and see if I reappear or not.
Oh, we will.
That's true.
Okay, good.
Another question,
bad.
because we do so many shows,
Yeah.
Kardashians included, but that's not a show that you would really probably be on.
That's one.
Are you
That is
only
your
allowed
quota.
to
Is there?
he's
I'm only allowed
to say
one.
it.
Quota.
I think you wanted to
used
ask me
it.
a question, though.
No, I was going to ask you even a more honest question than that. Do you watch any television shows right now that you're like, I want to be on that?
Ooh, Walking Dead. Walking Dead. I think my best friend Mark's about to cry. That's his favorite show. But he's over on the couch. But yes, I love Walking Dead. I would love to be a part of I know it's over, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer, something
Yes!
like Buffy would
Oh my
be
God, I love Buffy.
awesome. I know.
My number one show. Seriously.
I feel like your look would have fit right in with Buffy, too.
Totally. Because
Yeah.
it's that age.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's that age and demographic. And Buffy was an awesome kick-ass 16-year-old Slayer. And she's like the
Boom.
exact same age. So why not?
I'll give you a show.
Yeah.
Penny Dreadful. How's your British accent? You can play in America, but how's the British accent?
I feel like it's a bit off. It's not fully there. Oh gosh, this is awful. This is terrible.
Give it a couple days.
Yeah,
work it,
I gotta get used to it. Actually, most people. Okay, I'm done. I think actually most people on set of Salem are
British, yeah.
are British. All of them. I'm like,
a
what?
lot of them.
Every time that they speak, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. It's so interesting. I love hearing Tamsin's. Tamsin's voice is the cutest voice ever, especially because she'll talk from Anne, and then she'll be like, oh, really? And I'm like, yes, really, Tamsin, yes. It's just so cute.
Interesting.
Sorry.
We love Tamsin. She's great to watch.
so
She's interesting. I
great.
cannot wait to see about that.
I know. What'd you guys think of the end of the episode? Can we just...
Well, let's talk about it.
I just want to ask you guys what you think is going to happen and what's going on.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you said that because we do this segment every time here. We might as well do it now. Let's open up predictions.
Predictions. Okay. I can't be a part of this?
No,
but
you
I
totally
will-
can. You were absolutely
can.
100% going to be
Yeah,
part of
because
this.
my prediction last time didn't actually fully go through.
What was
I thought
it?
it'd be Mercy's Tatuba, basically.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Oh, we got our prediction thing coming up.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
It's very fitting for the show.
How do you guys? Well, Sammy, we'll ask you. How do you feel about Increase Mather or his head coming back?
Yeah.
I mean... Is he dead, though? It's like...
Is he a chia pet?
Isn't that's pretty interesting because I wonder if she's thinking of bringing him back to life. How is she going to do that? And if so, I've got more questions and predictions because if he can come back to life and if it's going to be possible, who knows? Mm-hmm. And he's just a head. How could Dolly not? You know what I mean? I'm just throwing that out there. No, but I don't actually know whether or not he comes back. So this is a pretty
Interesting. Welcome to our job. More questions than
Yes.
predictions.
Yeah.
You're fitting right in.
Oh, okay,
We
good.
always have more
Good.
questions.
What about you, Marissa?
Oh, I can't relate because the life expectancy on the show is so unquestionable. And I don't know. I really don't. I don't really have predictions, only more questions keep repeating myself. But I think the thing is with Anne and Cotton, their relationship, we obviously start budding tonight and they started getting it on and then they didn't. So all the sexual tension is building up to something.
I know, man.
And also, what was with that dream? That sex dream. Hello. That was hot. I definitely think we'll
say it was hot.
It was steamy. I mean, the show is ready to mature. But I think that relationship is something more to delve into. Only because was that from Cotton's perspective? I mean, it was cut to him immediately back in the jail cell, but was that Anne's perspective? Because when she does magic, I don't know, maybe she gets a high off of it, maybe she has a sexual emotion and kind of reaction to it.
I miss Gloriana.
I know. You were so sad. But I don't know. I just...
She's not coming back now. Like, we would have... She's gone. Yeah. I will do a Dolly Trask favor.
Wait,
Go
how
for it.
interesting would that be if she did come back?
I'm
just saying.
He would die in
I'm just saying that would be pretty interesting if, like, his love and then, like, his new love. Like, whoa, that'd be crazy.
You just blew my mind.
I mean...
No, for real, that would be an amazing prediction.
I mean, just throw things, why don't you? That would just be amazing.
I've just got so excited. It's like...
Are you good? Yeah. We're just gonna pretend
as we have just a little situation here.
Pull a pillow.
We're about done. It's okay. Real quick, though, I will make a Dolly Trask flavored prediction. I think that Isaac will avenge your death.
Oh.
Can we get a towel?
And he is going to be...
1 second. There we go.
I'm listening. He's going to be mine.
We're having a tragedy in here.
We are.
He's going to avenge your death, and he is going to be Mercy and von Marburg's new adversary in some way.
Okay.
I think he's too honorable of a guy to, like, let it go.
Right.
You know? So,
yeah.
I
could see that.
I think we'll see Isaac in some way, in some fashion, doing something like that.
I think one more question I have is also every time we see John put on the bag to hide from everyone, he gets affected by dark magic and it's in his veins and whatnot. What's happening? Do you know? Can you tell anything about that?
I don't know any
What's
of that.
your speculation about?
All I know about that is that it's really interesting to watch him get his makeup on, but that's about all I know.
So it's not all CG, it is actually.
Yeah, it's makeup.
How does that makeup work then? Because it's moving up his body.
Oh, well, half of that's gotta be CG.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay.
The makeups, they're really good. They just press a button and it just starts crawling all over.
It's like a weird tattoo vein. I'm not really sure.
Makeup has
I want
really
one of
progressed.
those. Yeah.
All right, I think we are done today. Marisa, you know what? Let's give away the prize pack next week.
Yes, you know what? Let's do that. There we go. Thank you. We got it.
But in the meantime, thank you guys very much for watching. Sammy, thank you very much for joining us.
We'll have Sammy sign the press pack, and we will
definitely have her sign this. If you haven't already on the press pack, here's how to enter to win. On iTunes, subscribe to us there, leave a rating, and leave a comment. And in your comment, leave your Twitter handle and follow us on Twitter. I am at Bobby DeMuro. Marisa is at Serafini TV. Yep. Sammy, you are at Sammi Hanratty 1 on Twitter. Where else can people learn more about you, follow you, do whatever?
Let's do, how about Instagram?
For sure.
Sammi Hanratty 143. I've got official Facebook fan. Yeah. I've got an official Facebook fan page. It's just Sammi Hanratty fan page. And yeah. Oh, and YouTube, The Real Sammi Hanratty.
That's great, especially if you upload that video of. Yeah, totally.
I'm going to show you guys some of the when we're done.
This is awesome.
It's really
awesome.
great.
Well, thank you for joining us again tonight, and you're welcome back anytime.
Awesome. You got to throw some more water at me?
Yeah.
I was not the one who spilled it first. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
That's it this week.
Fun.
Sammy, join us for any show you want to. Come back for a Kardashians episode. This is perfect.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Sure.
For Sammy and Marisa, I'm Bobby. Guys, we will see you next week on Salem, so keep commenting. And again, comment. You can win this prize pack if you haven't already. We'll see you in 7 days, guys. Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.